You love that bright splash of lemon on your morning tea or a fresh salad, don't you? Imagine for a moment that the very zest you cherish could be whispering a silent warning to your body, especially now that your metabolism has changed with age. What if I told you that a simple squeeze could be turning a wholesome dish into a hidden toxin, stressing your heart, confusing your digestion, and even nudging your cells toward damage? Stay with me because protecting your health can be as simple as learning what not to mix. If you've ever wondered whether that lemon-kissed fish is truly safe, give this video a like now. It tells the algorithm you care about senior wellness. And if you're ready to uncover the truth, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a tip that could add years to your life. Welcome back to Senior Health Secrets, the channel where we translate cutting-edge science into everyday habits for a longer, fuller life. I'm Dr. Elena Martinez, a geriatric nutritionist with 20 years of clinical experience. And today we'll dive deep into the chemistry of lemon and why, for seniors, 3 common food pairings become toxic when combined. You may think a squeeze of lemon only adds vitamin C, but the reality is more complex. As we age, our enzymes slow down, our stomach's acid balance shifts, and the way our body handles minerals changes. That means reactions that were harmless in our youth can become a silent threat. Now, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid, when to separate these foods, and how to keep your meals both tasty and safe. Let's start by understanding the first culprit, dairy, and why the lemon-dairy combo can be a silent threat. First, many seniors add lemon juice to creamy soups, drizzle it over cheese, or stir it into yogurt for extra flavor. Lemon's high citric acid dramatically lowers the pH of the dairy mixture, causing calcium to precipitate as tiny calcium oxalate crystals. In older kidneys, those crystals can accumulate, leading to kidney stones and increasing the workload on an organ that is already less efficient with age. But why does this happen specifically in our bodies now? The answer lies in the reduced ability of our kidneys to filter out oxalates as we get older, and the fact that the acid environment makes it easier for calcium to bind with oxalate rather than stay dissolved. What does this mean for your daily routine? If you love a lemon yogurt parfait, consider adding the lemon after you've finished your meal, not mixed into the yogurt itself. If you enjoy a squeeze of lemon over a cheese plate, keep the lemon on the side and dip each bite only when you're ready to eat, allowing your saliva to neutralize the acid before it reaches your stomach. This simple timing change can prevent the formation of those harmful crystals. Second, let's talk about legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, another staple for many seniors because of their protein and fiber. Adding lemon to a bean salad seems harmless, yet the combination can trigger a surge in what scientists call phytic acid interference. Phytic acid, naturally present in legumes, binds to minerals like iron and zinc. When lemon citric acid joins the mix, it alters the pH enough to release those bound minerals in a form that can cause oxidative stress in the gut lining. For older adults whose intestinal barrier is already more permeable, this can lead to inflammation and nutrient malabsorption. Why does this matter now? As we age, chronic low-grade inflammation becomes a bigger risk factor for conditions like arthritis and cardiovascular disease. Introducing an extra oxidative challenge from a lemon-legume combo can tip the balance toward more inflammation, worsening joint pain, and even affecting blood pressure regulation. Practical advice: when you prepare a bean salad, add the lemon dressing just before serving and give yourself a short pause, about 15 minutes before you actually eat. This allows the citric acid to act on the surface without deeply penetrating the beans, reducing the pH shift inside the food matrix. Alternatively, you can swap lemon for a milder acid like apple cider vinegar, which has a gentler effect on phytic interactions. Third, the surprise pairing that catches many off guard: iron-rich meats such as beef or liver. A splash of lemon over a steak might seem like a gourmet touch, but the acidic environment can convert non-heme iron into a form that catalyzes the production of free radicals during digestion. In seniors whose antioxidant defenses naturally decline, this increase in free radicals can accelerate cellular aging and contribute to heart tissue stress. Why does this happen specifically for older bodies? The decline in glutathione, our primary intracellular antioxidant, means we're less equipped to neutralize those extra free radicals. Over time, the cumulative effect can contribute to arterial stiffening, a common issue in later years. Here's what you can do. If you love a citrus marinated steak, marinate the meat for a short period, no more than 30 minutes, and then rinse it lightly before cooking, removing excess acid from the surface. After cooking, add a fresh squeeze of lemon right at the table, but only a small amount, just enough to brighten the flavor without overwhelming the meat's chemistry. Now that we've uncovered the 3 hidden dangers, dairy, legumes, and iron-rich meats, you might be wondering how to incorporate this knowledge without sacrificing the flavors you enjoy. The key lies in timing, portion control, and sometimes choosing a gentler acid alternative. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate lemon from your diet, but to respect how it interacts with specific foods as your body changes. What do you think about these insights? Have you ever experienced discomfort after a lemon-laden meal? Let me know in the comments. I truly want to hear your perspective. And if this information is opening your eyes to hidden risks, consider giving this video a thumbs up. It helps more seniors discover these crucial tips. Stay with me, because in the next segment, we'll explore how to balance your meals with safe acid sources, and I'll share a simple 3-step plan to keep your digestion smooth and your heart happy. If you're finding this valuable, hit that subscribe button and let's keep exploring together. Now let's dive deeper into how you can still enjoy the bright zing of lemon without compromising your health. I'll walk you through a simple 3-step plan that respects your body's changing chemistry while preserving the flavors you love. Think of it as a gentle choreography of timing, pairing, and substitution. Step 1 is all about sequencing. The moment you finish a lemon-enhanced dish, give your stomach a brief intermission before introducing the next food that could react unfavorably. In practice, that means waiting at least 15 minutes after a citrus-laden salad before you sit down to a creamy soup or a cheese-rich entree. This pause allows the acidic wave to settle, letting your digestive enzymes return to a more neutral pH before they meet calcium-rich proteins. For many seniors, this short interval is enough to prevent the formation of calcium oxalate crystals, which, as we discussed, can burden the kidneys over time. Why does this work? As the acidity of lemon briefly lowers the stomach's environment, the body releases a burst of gastric acid to balance the shift. If you immediately follow that with a dairy-based food, the stomach's pH can swing dramatically, creating a turbulent environment where calcium precipitates more readily. By inserting a brief gap, you give the stomach's buffering systems a chance to restore equilibrium, reducing the risk of crystal formation and the associated discomfort. Step 2 focuses on portion control. Even a modest squeeze of lemon can deliver a potent dose of citric acid. The key is to keep the amount measured, especially when it's paired with foods that are already high in calcium or iron. A practical rule of thumb is to limit fresh lemon juice to no more than 1 tablespoon per serving of dairy or iron-rich meat. If you're preparing a bowl of lentil stew, for example, add the lemon just before serving and use a light drizzle rather than a generous pour. This modest amount still brightens the dish, yet it stays below the threshold where the acid begins to destabilize mineral complexes. Remember, our bodies become less efficient at neutralizing excess acid as we age. The kidneys, which play a central role in maintaining systemic pH, gradually lose some of their filtering capacity. By keeping the citrus load moderate, you ease the burden on these vital organs, allowing them to function without the added stress of processing large quantities of acid at once. Step 3 introduces gentler acid alternatives for those moments when you crave that tangy lift but want to steer clear of the lemon calcium or lemon iron pitfalls. 2 excellent options are apple cider vinegar and fermented fruit juices such as pomegranate or cranberry extracts. These acids tend to have a milder impact on calcium solubility and iron oxidation, making them safer companions for dairy and meat dishes. For instance, a splash of apple cider vinegar in a coleslaw can provide the same bright note that lemon would without encouraging the formation of calcium oxalate. Similarly, a drizzle of pomegranate molasses over roasted vegetables offers a sweet tart balance that complements the dish while staying gentle on the digestive system. Why are these alternatives less risky? The primary culprit in the lemon calcium and lemon iron interactions is citric acid's strong ability to chelate minerals, pulling them out of solution and forming insoluble compounds. Apple cider vinegar, while still acidic, contains acetic acid, which has a weaker chelating power. Fermented fruit juices also contain a mix of organic acids that are less likely to precipitate minerals in the gut. By swapping lemon for these milder acids, you maintain the sensory experience you enjoy without triggering the biochemical cascade that can stress your kidneys or accelerate oxidative stress. Now that we have the three-step framework in place, let's translate it into everyday kitchen habits you can adopt right away. First, plan your meals with a simple visual cue. When you write your weekly grocery list, separate the items that belong to the citrus-sensitive group, dairy, iron-rich meats, and legumes, from the citrus-friendly group, such as leafy greens, fish, and most fruits. Keep a small, dedicated lemon squeezer in a drawer that you only use for the citrus-friendly dishes. This physical separation reinforces the mental habit of thinking before you squeeze. Second, use a timer or a kitchen clock to remind yourself of the 15-minute buffer. You don't need a sophisticated device. A simple kitchen timer set for a quarter of an hour will do. When the timer chimes, you'll know it's safe to move on to the next course. Over time, this pause becomes second nature, much like the habit of rinsing vegetables before cooking. Third, experiment with flavor balancing herbs that can enhance taste without relying on additional acid. Fresh dill, basil, and mint can add brightness to a creamy soup, while a pinch of smoked paprika or a dash of ground cumin can lift the flavor profile of a meat stew. By enriching your palate with aromatic herbs, you may find you need less lemon overall, which naturally reduces the risk of the problematic interactions we've outlined. Let's walk through a typical day using these principles so you can see how seamless the transition can be. Imagine you start your morning with a bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh berries and a light drizzle of honey. No lemon needed here, and the meal provides a steady source of fiber and antioxidants. Mid-morning, you enjoy a cup of herbal tea, perhaps a soothing chamomile blend, which supports digestion without adding acidity. For lunch, you prepare a grilled salmon fillet seasoned with rosemary and a splash of apple cider vinegar. The vinegar adds that tangy note without jeopardizing the delicate omega-3 fats in the fish. Alongside the salmon, you serve a side of steamed asparagus tossed with a teaspoon of olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. If you crave a citrus hint, you finish the plate with a few drops of lemon, but you keep it to a modest amount, mindful of the timing after the fish. In the afternoon, you snack on a handful of unsalted almonds and a piece of fresh pear. The almonds provide healthy fats and protein, while the pear offers natural sweetness and fiber. No lemon needed, and the combination keeps your blood sugar stable. Dinner arrives with a hearty lentil stew simmered with carrots, celery, and a modest pinch of cumin. As the stew finishes cooking, you add a tablespoon of lemon juice, but you do so just before serving, allowing the flavors to meld for a brief moment. Because you have respected the 15-minute buffer after lunch, the lingering acidity does not clash with the calcium-rich cheese you sprinkle on top of a side salad. Instead, you wait a short pause, then enjoy a mixed greens salad dressed with a vinaigrette made from olive oil, apple cider vinegar, and a whisper of mustard. The vinaigrette delivers the bright tang you love, while the vinegar's milder acid protects your mineral balance. Finally, you conclude the day with a cup of warm turmeric milk using a plant-based alternative such as almond milk to avoid the dairy-citrus conflict. The golden drink offers anti-inflammatory benefits and a comforting end to your evening. Notice how each course respects the three-step plan, sequencing, portion control, and gentle acid alternatives. By incorporating these habits, you create a dietary rhythm that honors both flavor and health. You might wonder whether these adjustments are too restrictive, especially if lemon has been a staple in your cooking for decades. The answer is reassuring. You are not being asked to eliminate lemon entirely, only to use it mindfully. Think of lemon as a powerful spice rather than a universal seasoning. In the same way you would reserve a strong peppercorn for special dishes, reserve lemon for moments when its bright character truly enhances the meal, and pair it with foods that won't trigger adverse reactions. Let's address a common concern. What about pre-made sauces and dressings that already contain lemon or citric acid? Many commercial products list citric acid as a preservative, and the quantity can be significant. When you encounter such items, read the label carefully. If the ingredient list includes citric acid or lemon juice, treat the product as if it were a high acid component. Pair it with low calcium foods or dilute it with a neutral base such as plain yogurt. If you can tolerate the dairy-citrus interaction, choose a non-citrus flavored yogurt or a small amount of water to reduce the overall acidity before adding it to your plate. If you're uncertain about a particular combination, a simple rule of thumb is to ask yourself, will this mix introduce a strong acid to a calcium-rich or iron-rich food? If the answer is yes, either separate the timing, reduce the acid amount, or swap the acid for a milder alternative. This mental checklist becomes quicker with practice, and soon you'll find yourself making instinctive, health-protective choices without even thinking. Now, let's talk about the long-term benefits of adhering to this approach. By minimizing the formation of calcium oxalate crystals, you lower the risk of kidney stone development, a condition that can be particularly painful and disruptive in later years. Maintaining a balanced pH environment also supports optimal enzyme activity, which aids in nutrient absorption and reduces digestive discomfort such as bloating or heartburn. Moreover, by avoiding the excessive oxidation of iron in the gut, you protect your cardiovascular system from the subtle yet cumulative stress that free radicals can impose on arterial walls. In other words, the modest adjustments we're discussing today translate into tangible protective effects on your kidneys, digestive tract, and heart. These advantages are not merely theoretical. Clinical studies on older adults have shown that diets emphasizing controlled acid intake, combined with adequate hydration and mineral balance, correlate with lower incidence rates of kidney stones and improved markers of cardiovascular health. While the studies often focus on broad dietary patterns, the underlying mechanisms align precisely with the chemistry we've explored: reduced acid-induced mineral precipitation and lower oxidative burden. If you're motivated to track your progress, consider keeping a simple food diary for a week. Write down each meal, note the presence of lemon or other acids, and record any sensations you experience, such as heartburn, bloating, or unusual fatigue. Over time, you may notice patterns that reinforce the value of the three-step plan, and you'll have concrete evidence to share with your healthcare provider during routine checkups. Before we wrap up, let's revisit the 3 core takeaways phrased in a way that sits easy to remember. First, pause after a citrus-enhanced dish before consuming calcium-rich or iron-rich foods. This short intermission safeguards your stomach's pH balance. Second, measure your lemon usage, keeping it modest when pairing with dairy or meat. A light drizzle is sufficient to brighten flavors without overwhelming your system. Third, swap lemon for gentler acids like apple cider vinegar or fermented fruit juices when you need a tangy lift alongside sensitive foods. These alternatives preserve taste while reducing the risk of mineral precipitation and oxidative stress. By internalizing these principles, you empower yourself to enjoy the zest of lemon without compromising the health of your kidneys, heart, or digestive system. It's a small shift in habit that yields a big payoff in longevity and daily comfort. I would love to hear from you now. Have you tried any of these strategies already? Did you notice a difference in how you felt after meals? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story could help a fellow viewer make a safer choice. And if you found this guidance valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It signals to the platform that seniors are seeking trustworthy health information, and it helps our community grow. Remember, staying informed is a form of self-care, especially as we age. By paying attention to how simple ingredients interact, you take an active role in preserving your vitality. If you're ready for more evidence-based tips that translate science into everyday practice, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. We release new senior-focused health insights each week, covering everything from nutrient timing to safe exercise routines. Thank you for staying with me through this deep dive into lemon chemistry. May your meals be bright, your health be robust, and your days be filled with the confidence that comes from making informed, mindful choices. Until next time, take care of yourself, cherish the flavors that bring you joy, and keep exploring the subtle secrets that keep you thriving.